Hello, Internet. My name is Roro, and welcome to my channel where I sift through thoughts and ideas while playing video games. I hope everyone's having a good day. This video is a kind of a part two continuation of the video from last week, so if you haven't seen that one yet, I would suggest checking that out. Link will be in the description and also in the top right corner, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going through some notes in my phone from 2018 of just things that I always kind of wanted to address and change, and a lot of them I still feel the same way. Some of the things I have changed, but last week was like an intro, sort of just like a brain dump into my notes of just whatever was on my mind at the time, just getting it out, kind of going through it and seeing where I'm at. This week is, I'm calling it part one. These are, again, from 2018. I'm just referencing them. And this one's a little bit more focused. I have more specific ideas of things that I want to change and add to my life, take out from my life. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, just to reiterate, these are all notes in my phone from 2018. I haven't changed them at all. I'm just reading them directly out of how they were left 4 years ago. So, to start out, let me preface this by saying these are all suggestions and ideas. I will not pretend to tie myself down to specifics, knowing that I will never fulfill them. That's why this is all going to be about my focus, also known as mindfulness. I don't know if the way that I'm defining focus is the same, but as time passes, we will see. So that's why I guess I called them focus detox, because I'm just trying to be mindful of what I'm doing and remove things from my life that are harming me in some way and also adding things to my life that I know will benefit me. And I guess I don't really know how I feel about that last part about defining focus, because I still don't really know how I would define it or differentiate it from mindfulness. So for the sake of this video, we'll just say it's the same thing. All right, first on the list, drink fucking water. I have fallen off severely with my water consumption. I need to make sure I have my Nalgene with me at all times so I can keep track of how much I drink like I used to. Okay, this isn't about putting me down. This is about bringing me up. So I actually referenced that in the last video as well about putting myself down. So that's clearly something that I was doing often. I still do to an extent, but it's not as much of a problem in my life now for sure. And this has become such like a stupid trope, like drink more water. And obviously there is validity to that though. And I don't know if people drink enough water on a regular basis, like if you're drinking soda every day, like I'm trying to drink less soda and I'll get into that later in this video, but I don't know if that really counts as drinking water. I guess there's water in it, but you really need to drink some pure water, like I don't know the specifics of how much you should drink, whatever. It differentiates from person to person. And if you're drinking like, tea or stuff that has more water percentage in it or whatever, I don't know. I'm getting too specific about this, but basically, I still don't feel like I drink enough water. At this time, I was working in person. This was pre-COVID. I was doing more like physical labor type work, and now I work from home, so my body's requirements are definitely different, but either way, I still feel like I could use more water in my life. All right, the next thing on the list is little to no dairy. That means no cream in my coffee, no cheese, continue to not eat eggs, even though they aren't really dairy. This could be a good way to wean myself off of coffee and back into green tea, since I will have to drink black coffee. Now, honestly, a lot of this has changed since 2018 for me. So, as far as cream in my coffee, I only drink oat milk in my coffee now. So I guess I've accomplished that because there's no dairy in oat milk. It's a non-dairy product. No cheese. I definitely still eat cheese, but I don't think I eat it as much as I did then. And it's not something that I feel like I want all the time. Like I'll get hamburgers and stuff with no cheese on them. Like a lot of times when I'm ordering food out, I will try to get something that doesn't have cheese. Not because I feel like I have to, but because I genuinely just don't want cheese as much as I once did. I don't know what I was talking about with the egg thing. I guess I wasn't eating eggs at the time. I've gone through phases where I think eggs are really gross. But right now, I actually am really enjoying eating eggs. So that's not something I want to stop doing. And I always have this idea of not drinking coffee and only drinking green tea because I know it's like healthier for me and it has less caffeine. And I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine. I really only have 1 cup of coffee a day. If I have too much caffeine, I get really bad anxiety. I have trouble sleeping. It just affects my body a lot. So I have to really be careful of how much caffeine I intake. But I don't know. I kind of like coffee now more than I did because I make it myself. I get like higher quality beans. I make it like in a fresh way. It's not like pre-ground coffee that just tastes like burnt shit going through like a drip machine. Like I like the ritual of making coffee. It's something that I do for my partner in the morning. It's something that we kind of like bond over. So I actually don't mind how coffee is in my life at this point. I would like to drink more green tea. Like maybe I don't have to drink coffee every day, or at least I can also drink tea instead of having like soda, for example, as like more caffeine in the middle of the day. So I'm good with coffee. I'm going to keep drinking coffee as I am, but I do want to try to drink more green tea in general. All right, next on the list, we have little to no conscious, in quotes, sugar. This is a tough one to define, but basically don't eat anything that obviously is loaded with sugar. This means candy, muffins, donuts, pastries, putting sugar in coffee, soda, etc. Ginger ale I think is okay for now, and cutting out bread and carbs will come later. So this is something that I still need to work on, but in general I also have gotten a lot better. I don't eat nearly as much candy and sweets as I once did, but I still definitely eat it pretty regularly, but I don't think it's to the point where it's an issue. Obviously, I could cut it down more, but I think I'm good in that regard. I don't put sugar in my coffee anymore either, but I sometimes will put hot chocolate mix in it. But even that's not all the time. It's just like on occasion. A lot of times it's just the coffee and the oat milk, I love it. Soda, I put it in caps for a reason. Soda is such a big addiction for me. And it's one of the hardest things that I have to deal with my body and what I eat and drink because I just want soda all the time. So that's still something that I have to work on and I am working on. Ginger ale, right now, I'm actually not drinking any soda, and I'm about a week into that. And I'm including ginger ale in that for now, but I really do like ginger ale a lot. So eventually I'll drink that again, but maybe I'll never have Coke again, or at least not drink it regularly. That's kind of my goal, like the darker sodas especially, but I don't know. I really like ginger ale, and I don't want to rob myself completely of things that I enjoy. And cutting out bread and carbs will come later. I'm not really worried about that right now. Again, I don't eat as shitty as I did at this time, but I also was doing more stuff with my body, so I needed more calories. So it's almost like, I guess it would kind of be the same because I'm eating less sugar and carbs and all that kind of stuff, but I'm doing a lot less with my body. So it's probably like, I don't know, around equaled out as far as like what my body's actually using versus what I'm putting into it. So I could probably do a little bit better with that, but right now I feel like in that regard I'm fine. All right, next up on the list, meat. Why? Just eat less meat. I don't even like meat that much. So unless it's something specific that I love that I get with meat occasionally, why eat meat? Just don't do it. So again, at this time I must have been like more interested in vegan food because I wasn't fucking with dairy and eggs and stuff, but thinking about it now, it might have been like an extreme internal reaction to like how I was eating at the time because I probably eat more meat now than I ever have and I have no problem with it. I'm not eating meat all the time. I don't ever cook meat at my house. Like if I'm cooking a meal or my partner's cooking a meal, we almost never will cook meat. Like I mean like literally almost never. Every once in a while she'll make salmon or something, but I'm not cooking chicken and beef and pork at my house ever. So this is really only when I get it out. And I'm like a lot less interested in chicken and pork, and I'm more interested in like beef right now. For more so just for what I like to eat, for no like moral reason or anything like that. But I used to not like beef as much, but now I'm really into beef. Like that's mainly what I'll get out if I'm getting food out. But yeah, I'm totally fine with eating meat right now. I don't have a problem with it. So yeah. All right. Next on the list is a real big one. Read, read, read. This is not only a physical detox, but also, and honestly primarily, a mental one. Reading has been an excellent way for me to kick my old habits of consuming. Stay out of YouTube wormholes, stay off Twitter and Instagram, stop listening to podcasts all day, every day. Reading is great. Read every day, even a little bit. I need to read more. Every single time I read, which is very rarely, it literally feels like my brain is being washed and like rinsed with water, like pure. It's like it makes my brain feel so clear, and I love it, but I almost never do it, and it's literally just cuz I'm out of the habit of doing it. But that's what these videos are about, is me trying to like reassess where I'm at and figure it out. Um so yeah, I used to be very addicted to social media, and I've since deleted all of my social media except for YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. I actually have a video talking about that on my channel. So I'm definitely in a much better place with this. And again, I'm working from home, so I spend a lot more time on my computer. So I'm definitely watching a ton of YouTube videos and Twitch streamers and some podcasts, not as many podcasts, but I think at this time I was just so focused on consuming that it was consuming me. And that really kind of lasted until very recently. So I feel like the intake of stuff that I'm getting from the internet is actually really good. It's not just like a bunch of bullshit about like, I don't know, I try to avoid like fight street fight videos and like cop interaction videos and like Karen videos, stuff like in that realm, like the shot and fraud type stuff, because I don't want to feel that reaction anymore, because you get that visceral reaction and you kind of get addicted to it. So now all the stuff that I consume is stuff that I know I really enjoy, and it like benefits me in some way, and I actually get something out of it, especially now that I'm off of Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of shit. So yeah, I definitely need to read more, because there's something fantastical about reading. You know, it's like it's literally just words on paper, but it can take you to a whole different world. You know, like watching a TV show or watching a movie, it's a much more obvious version of that world. But reading is so nice because you're not looking at a screen. It's just you're really just having an experience within yourself. And I love the way it makes me feel. So I guess I just have to find books that I'm interested in, because it's really hard for me to go through with a book unless it really pulls me in. So I just got to keep looking. I have plenty of books at my apartment that I've never read. So this won't be hard to do. I just have to do it and figure out how I can integrate it into my daily life. All right, last on the list, we have music. This is something that I want to focus on, but I'm not sure of the specifics. So just listen to what feels right. Stuff that inspires me and draws nostalgia. So basically, what I was saying in this context is I make music, and I have a really bad habit of emulating whatever I'm into at the time. Like whatever music I'm listening to, I will subconsciously recreate that when I make music. So I think at the time it's kind of similar, and I think it's tied to social media. I was just keeping up with new stuff way more. And I've also gotten, this is 4 years ago. I'm 30 now, so I've gotten a bit older, and I'm not as interested in new stuff and like what's cool and hip and, what's the young kids are into. Like, not to sound like a boomer, but I don't really care about that stuff as much as I once did. It's still interesting to me, but it doesn't really like define the moves that I'm making, where as at one time it was. So I think I actually listen to a lot of different music now, and it's mostly stuff that I have listened to for a while. Like I don't really listen to nearly as much new music. So, and I'm also not making music in the same way that I once was. I also have a video talking about this, but I was pursuing a career in music for a while, and in the past couple months I've given that up. And now I just do whatever I want with music and my art. I'm not trying to make money off of it, so I can literally just make whatever I want at my leisure. I just play guitar a bunch now, and I just, put my headphones on and just kind of space out and play guitar, and I love it. So, I'm happy to see that I've actually improved a lot in this regard since 2018. All right, so that's the end of this list. I have 2 more lists, and I'm going to be making 2 more videos going over all this stuff from 2018. I know these videos are kind of long and probably a little bit more boring, but I'm not out here trying to get viral videos, like I'm literally archiving my brain on YouTube for my own personal documentation, and I'm sharing it in the hopes that other people will relate to it and get something out of it that helps their life. or at least gets them through their day, and it's like something that they can listen to and enjoy. So if you like this, I really appreciate you checking it out and listening. Um, if you don't like it, you probably aren't listening anymore, so I don't have to talk to you. But I put out a new video every Sunday. So if you want to hear the next parts, come back next week. And I make a little bit of original music for every video. So I'm going to go ahead and play that, and I'll see you guys next time.